Give me books, give me nature, and a good snack, and we are golden.
What does your typical homeschool day look like? I'm assuming, I don't know this about you, but I'm assuming
I'm excited to hear
from
what
your
you
book,
say.
since you wrote 100 Days of Adventure, and you're into nature activities and exploration stuff, that you are more of a Charlotte Mason type of a homeschooler. Am I right?
You nailed it. I totally am. Give me books, give me nature, and a good snack, and we are golden.
Yep. Okay. So if you guys are wondering what is Charlotte Mason all about, well, we just happened to do an entire podcast on Charlotte Mason with Sonia Schaefer recently. So go back and listen to that one if you're not sure what the Charlotte Mason method is. But tell us what your typical homeschool day would look like.
Okay. Well, I have, like I said, I have 3 teenagers, and teenagers love to sleep in.
Yep.
So we don't start like right bright and early.
Yeah, you are my kind of girl.
I think I would say one of the best parts of homeschooling is you have the freedom to start school later if you need to. And that is a gift. I generally wake up before the kids because I really like that time when it's quiet and I can get some stuff done. Or even just have the time to just drink my coffee and read before anybody's talking to me. That's awesome. So generally we'll start together. Everybody makes their own breakfast because they're all old enough now. They all like to make their own thing. And so everybody makes their own breakfast, cleans up after themselves, and then we'll gather in the living room. And that's the chunk of time that I feel is the most sacred to me. Yeah. We read the Bible together, and we read generally like a missionary story or a story of some person of faith, because I really want to give my kids a vision of what it looks like to live out their faith daily. And so there's so many inspiring people who've done that. So we read from that book all together. I'm reading aloud to all of them. I think you should never stop reading aloud to your kids. Doesn't matter how old they are.
Amen.
And then we generally read something from like geography that we're studying, or history that we're reading, their health book. So I try to do as many subjects together reading aloud as I can, especially for my 3 older kids. And then they go off to do their own thing. And then I do subjects with just the 10-year-old. Okay. Actually, he's almost 11. So I got to remember, because that's important to kids. So then I do things with just him, and the big kids can do their own stuff. And then we'll come back for whatever different people need help with, and generally try to finish by early afternoon.
Okay. I love it. That is almost exactly what we do. And it's so funny because you're like, we're not early morning people. I'm not, and we're not either. Now, what's early to you? Like what would be your typical, like realistic, everybody's done with breakfast and we're now sitting down to read time of the day?
In my ideal world, it would be 9, but in the real world, I would say it's 10.
Okay.
Which for a lot of people, they're like, whoa, that is really late. But I feel like we've gotten up, we've eaten breakfast, we've cleaned up the kitchen. Everybody's, ready to just gather together. And some of my kids actually get up before that and work out or draw or get their math done, but not all of them. So it's like, we can get everybody together, whether you've just woken up or and eaten breakfast, or you've gotten up and done some of your own stuff.
Yeah.
That's 9:30 or 10 is my ideal. Let's all meet together time.
Yeah. That's so great. I ask that because I want people to understand, like, you do what works best for your family. Yeah. I've shared this lots of times. We are a super late family. We just are. We've always been that way because my husband, he used to have a job where he got home from work at like 9 o'clock at night. Yeah. And so my girls always would stay up late, and their bedtime from the time they were born, was at like 11 or 11:30, or else they would never get to see him. Yeah. Well, that's just always kind of stuck. And so my girls are rarely in bed before 11 o'clock. And my girls are 11 and 16, and it's always been that way. And so by the time we all, get in bed, fall asleep, get up in the morning, and just like you, I'm almost always the first one up. I get up, I make my tea with my vanilla creamer and sit and, have my quiet time with the Lord, typically before anyone else is up. And then they all roll out of bed. Well, eventually after I wake them up. about 16 times, which is what it takes to get both of my kids out of bed now. Yeah. But they finally get up, roll out of bed. And then, so we will not start our day until sometime between like 10 and 11. Yeah. And it's fine because it's what works for a family. I would much rather have a rested child who is alert and attentive than to have someone who's not. But then we have lots of friends, Abby's an early morning person. And so her kids are up earlier and they're, she's, I think, an hour behind me. Her time zone is an hour behind me and she starts school before we do. It's kind of funny. And lots of people do. And that's great because that's what works for their families. Yeah.
So we have the freedom to make it be whatever we want. Right. And I just love that because I think for me now, especially with so many teens, like they often want to talk late at night. Right. Like that's when they want to talk either to me or my husband or to each other. And again, I'm always going to choose relationships. So if that means we have a later start because they stayed up late talking, that's okay with me. Yeah. I think that's just a real gift.
Homeschool Insights is sponsored by CTC Math. If you're looking for a great online math program, visit ctcmath.com and try it for free. For more great homeschool inspiration and resources, listen to the Schoolhouse Rocked podcast every Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday.